Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Broodwar ladder cast. It's going to be a bit of a shorter one here today. We've got Larva spawning in the top left, Noel in the top right. And I've heard this is a very good game. I don't really know Noel too well, but a good game with Larva involved will definitely be on those. We'll be checking those out. I got a few things going on right now this week, some visitors and stuff like that, so I'm just going to be bringing you the single game here, and we're going to keep the uploads rolling throughout the week. Having a little bit of downtime here between the ASL seasons. We just had the KCM finals. It was fantastic. Definitely a lot of back and forth there. We got to see some different sides of these different players. Some kind of unorthodox strategies from Soma, especially. Things that I wasn't really expecting out of him, but I know that he is for sure hiding some builds. Pretty much everybody's hiding builds when it comes to the KCM. Anyone who's still in the ASL is hiding builds. That's just how it is. Next season, there'll be a bunch of new maps, and then you can throw out your builds, put them out on the ladder and that type of thing. You don't have to worry about people catching on to what you're doing, because new maps will be here, and you'll have to come up with a whole new handful of builds to try and combat those new maps or deal with the new maps and the new set of circumstances for sure. Just got a 1-Rax fast expand here from Noel. And Larva. He's going to be getting his layer here. That was a pretty darn fast layer. You can see only 310 at this layer's already chugging along. And some pressure coming out here from Noel. 3 Marines moving across the map. I like to put my Overlord right along here or right at this corner, just to get that little bit of extra time before the Marines actually arrive in your natural. But looks like he's pretty well aware here with this Overlord of what's coming. And he sees the Marines return back home as well. 2 racks follow up from Noel. It's not as popular of a build right now, but it can still put you into a good spot. Especially against something that appears to be a pretty fast Mutalisk build from Larva. Makes sense when you're on horizontal spawns on Radion. You're so close to your opponent's natural. The rallies across the map are just going to be so quick, and there's no way to catch the rallies as well. So, like, let's say that he was down in bottom left. If the Marines move out on the map, you might be able to catch rallying mutas coming across the map. So, that's not going to be a factor here for Larva. And Noel just going to make sure that he has a bunch of early Marines, which he can move out with, force the Mutalisk to respond, and not be too aggressive into the main and natural. But a few drones popping out here, and the 3rd hatchery for that 2.5 hatch. It looks like he's not really going to be saving many larva. I think he's going to have like 4 larva, if I'm correct on this, as that spire finishes. So getting a little bit more economic with his opener. He also starts a crit colony here in the natural. Oh, gonna jump on top of these Marines with the Lings, just trying to slow that down just by a little bit. Force the Marines to turn and attack for just a couple of seconds. That's what he's trying to do. Lincoln colony here is almost complete. Oh my gosh, it's so close. But it looks like it won't finish, guys. Oh, he kills the medic. Uh-oh. The medic actually dies. So the medic going down there is pretty rough. All the drones in the natural are going to die, but look at this. Excuse me, not all the drones in the natural just died. He fights with the drones and wins. That's not something you oftentimes see. But there it is. Losing that medic to the Lings. A huge deal here. And now Larva, I mean, he's taken a pretty big hit to the economy. It's hard to even make nonstop mutas with this few number of drones. Oh, these two Marines went around the side here. Uh-oh, these two could come in and actually kill more drones. This is painful. This is really painful for Larva right now. Looks like he's going to have two Lings coming out here. One drone goes down. Just the one drone. Okay, so he manages to hang on there. Loses another drone, but it's not the end of the world. 7 mutas here at the front. Not able to get anything so far. He basically just attacked a medic. He attacked a medic, and he did a little damage to an SCV, and that's all he was able to do. Very rough. Very rough right now for Larva, who has been able to re-drone a bit, just putting on this 7 mutalist pressure. And I guess he did kill the first Marine bio ball, which is always a little bit hard to recover from for the 2 Rex player. 1 mutalist down. Now can no longer one-shot SCVs. Not that he was doing a great job of harassing there anyways, but it's no longer on the table. He's mostly just sitting out here in front, waiting for a bit of a Marine move out while droning hard. Third base is going to be started here soon. With 4 hatchery production, he's going to have quite a lot of potential for unit production. But this gas is going to be pretty late. In fact, he starts the Hydralisk Den. He starts the Hydralisk Den before starting his third base. Wants to get that online in good time. You can see the starports are already coming up. So the fact that he doesn't have Queen's Nest at this point is it's not looking good. Definitely not looking good here. You can die very easily to a tank attack. Tank push, very strong against a position like this. If you just make 3 tanks, keep pumping all Marines, and you can even stop making SCVs right now if you want to go for an attack like that. Very, very difficult to stop something like that. Gonna come running up here with the Marines and Lings. Very good surround on these Lings. Superb surround there. Killing off a lot of these Marines and actually cutting a hole into the attack timing. If you wanted to go for something like a tank push, it would be pretty hard with this few Marines after being whittled down this much. You would be really struggling to make that happen. Going to be having some vessels out here pretty soon. +1 attack is done, I think, on either side. Does he have a +1 attack as well? Let me go ahead and see. Yeah, he does have +1 attack. Second engineering bay on the way. Looks like pure SK Terran, but just look at how slow this Queen's Nest is and this layer is. If he was going for a tank attack, right as he had his first vessel, for instance, you come out, you push forward with 3 tanks, a bunch of Marines. As soon as the Mutalisks try to take a fight, you immediately throw down the Irradiate and you just gain ground. You get as close to the natural as possible and start to siege up with those tanks. It's very hard to stop. Noel, instead, going up to 45 workers and going through this SK Terran dance. We'll see if he's able to get out on the map here before Larva starts to put some lurkers down in front of his natural. I think that's going to be coming soon. Larva just playing keep away. He's not even killed many SCVs. I don't know how many he's killed, maybe 1 or 2 this entire game so far. But playing a great job of keep away against Noel, who's struggling to move out of his natural now. In fact, he's not getting the stim. He's not getting the attacks that he wants. Here comes some Lings. Immediate split here. And Lurkers are going to come right up to the front as well. There's another Radiate. Lurkers are trying to get the best connection that they can. And a great move there to pull out the Radiated Lurk or Muta as well to do as much damage as possible. Now the Lurkers can move even further forward. especially these two that aren't too damaged, get right up here in the face, or he could back away. You want to do one or the other. You don't want to just stick around here and wait to get irradiated, but if you can, you'd like to push the issue. Maybe force a kill here on the supply depot. Maybe force some Marines to come out and try to attack. Lurker's gonna back up here. Burrow. Nice spines there. Getting some good damage. Time to run away, I think. Time to run away. This is pretty much done what it was meant to do. Defiler's mound is on the way. Third base is up and operational with that third gas. Bunch of Scourge coming forward here. Gonna be looking for potential snipes on these vessels. See if he can make it happen. Diving all the way. Oh, he gets none. 0 kills. That's about as bad as it could possibly be. I mean, this was a pretty good game situation for Larva up until that moment. But now Noel is out on the map. Good thing this Nidus is finishing now, because he might actually be in massive trouble if that weren't the case. He needs to go over and stack lurkers at that base. Oh, it's not done. Oh my gosh, it's not done. But at least he's coming to the natural. He's not going to the third immediately. There's 2 vessels out in the middle, which is kind of funny. He doesn't have the lurkers stacked. That is unfortunate. No stacked lurkers here means a lot of irradiates are going to go down. This right here. Gonna finally stack these up. Gotta move the Overlord over top. Get into position here. He's actually going to try and take the 4th. No way, right? I don't know where this drone is going. I guess it's just heading out onto the map. He's doing his best to get this stack going. One more lurker there. Can fit underneath that stack. And then the Overlord over top. That's kind of unbreakable at this point. 4 lurkers. I guess +1 armor is done. So they do take 3 hits to kill at full HP. Usually they're not at full HP because of course, the stim. But we could actually get a pretty solid game here. Looking at this, you know, if he'd been able to dive and kill a bunch of these vessels earlier, excuse me, that could have been really hard. Oh wow, double D-Matrix Firebat. Lurker egg on the ramp. Gonna be holding the fort down for now. Scourge here. Ready to try and dive on those vessels, but double D-Matrix completely shut down by the lurker on the ramp. I love to see it. Good play here by Larva to keep himself safe in this difficult situation. And a lot of energy was just utilized by Noel to really get nothing done. I love the double D-Matrix Firebat. But if it gets nothing done, you just wasted more than 2 irradiates, like 2.5 irradiates for really no value. Now Lings are going to be getting that crack upgrade. I believe it's possibly already done. +1 attack as well as +2 armor is on the way. +1 attack for Hydralisk as well. So we may be seeing Hydra Defiler gameplay coming out of Larva. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Can he get a plague down here? Ooh, that was a bit of a rough plague. Only getting 1 Firebat and 1 medic. Definitely could have gotten more. Sometimes it's hard, though, to get that spell off just before the Defiler dies from the Irradiate. Gonna look for more spells here as the Terran army backs away. Is he finally gonna land this factory? Where is it? Oh, it's over here. About time to land that factory and start making tanks. 2 factory tank production, 3 factory tank production is kind of the way to deal with this. Marines down here get cleared. D-Matrix Firebats once again. He's actually going to pull the trigger on an attack again here. Just going for it. Dark Storm goes down, but the D-Matrix Firebats are going to be holding pretty strong, ripping through. Wow, so much D-Matrix here. This is really sick. Continuing to D-Matrix. You've got to be kidding me. He's actually punching through. Lurkers here coming down the ramp. Can he actually save the hatchery? No, not able to save it. Forced to cancel. D-Matrix Firebat's going to come forward again. They've done so much work here underneath this Dark Swarm, and they're going to continue to do work. Throwing down a ton of irradiates on all these spread out lurkers. He's going to kill like every lurker here. This is really well done by Noel, honestly. That's so hard to deal with. Going to make a bunch of lurkers right now. Doesn't really know what else to do, it seems. Try to get this hatchery down as soon as possible. As Noel actually mining on 4 base economy now. There's the factories finally landing. And he will go up to 3 factory tank production. I think he's done enough. Honestly, I think he's done a great job of shutting this down. Can he actually get in and kill this base again? Oh, the Firebats looks like they're all going to be cleared up. Yeah, these Firebats will end up going down in the end. Lurkers here are going to come forward and just finish off that last little group of Marines. Nicely done. Scourge here, losing their lives. Would like to catch a few of these vessels as they head across the map, but that's probably not going to happen. Oh, man, just parked there in the middle. Still not getting gunned down, not getting picked up by the Zerg Scourge. How are the upgrades looking? +2, +1. And 3-2 is already done. Hydra's upgrades as well with that 2-1. From the side here, losing some Hydras. We get a kill on one of these vessels. A lot of Scourge go down without killing very many of these vessels. Still, the vessel count super high. Look at that, 12 vessels. Pretty hard to even utilize this many vessels. It's almost time to start making or just cranking out pure tanks. Yeah, get the armory for sure. The armory is so sick. Start to get +1. Eventually get up to that +2. Once you have +2 attack, it becomes very hard for the Zerg player to even approach the Terran army. We're going to see a eraser trick here. Definitely viable in a situation like this. Here we go. Eraser trick. Not really getting too much. And there's the Spore Colony. Picking off a kill there. Killing one of those vessels. Still, the vessel count's so freaking high. SK Terran doing its work. Still hasn't cleared out the natural yet. That's kind of surprising. I thought he would have opened this position by now, but it's just been so much battling for bottom right. Ooh, diving in here for a bunch more kills on these drones. That was quite a lot. Yeah, look at all the drone kills here. Dropping down to just 41. Pretty solid. Pretty solid indeed. Tanks slowly inching forward towards this natural in bottom left. Can he actually get close enough here to really start to put on the pressure? And at the same time, he needs to make sure that Larva isn't sneaking anything out this direction as well. If it gets out and towards the natural with a couple of defilers and some hydras, even one defiler, hydras, lurkers and lings, can cause a pretty significant problem. 3 tanks, 4 tanks going to be sieging up here. He has a lot of fire bats to start to fight this back. Can he get the... Yeah, he should get that. Oh, he could get amazing plague on this big group. There it is. Huge plague on all these vessels. That is nasty. Excellent plague here. So, you know, getting turned around, getting forced back, but getting the big plague on all the vessels. Larva's actually not feeling too bad about that trade, I bet you. In fact, he could start to target down a lot of these vessels. How many can he kill? Not too many, it turns out. Base going to be taken over here, but this army could make its way forward. Can he get a plague on that? Everything's so stacked up right now. One plague in the middle of that army will annihilate everything. He puts another plague down on those vessels. That's not going to do too much. But at least he saves this base. He saves the hatchery here. Tanks coming up now. What are their upgrades? +1 attack so far. Still pretty darn scary. +1 tanks in this large of a number. How many do we have? Looks like 8 tanks total over here for the top left. A similar number over in the bottom left. And it's starting to become a little bit hard here for Larva, honestly. As this base gets taken, as soon as he gets factories up here and starts making tanks, things become very difficult. In fact, he's going to start to go into chitinous plating and ultra, which I'm not entirely a fan of. I think that this is going to be pretty hard to hold on. Lurker's going to run forward here under the Dark Swarm. This base should be invincible, but double D-Matrix on these Firebats doing a lot of damage. Actually, triple D-Matrix Firebat. Is he actually going to be able to bust this? One more Lurker left. 9-kill Lurker here. Going to be holding down the fort. Maybe Lings can come forward and actually start to clear some of these tanks. Reinforcements are en route. And there it is. Bunch of Dark Swarm down right on top of the tanks now. Lurker, I believe, was killed. And army is pushing forward. Man, Noel is just relentless, dude. He is just getting in here and dealing damage. He's looking for some drone kills if he can find them. Ling's coming up forward. Actually, the tank fire hurting him. Hurting a lot of these Marines. Can he actually get up here? And on top of the tanks, burrowed under Dark Swarm, these Lurkers are now invincible to everything except for Radiate and Firebats. Splash damage, really, is what can still hurt them, aside from the splash damage from the tanks, but that's a totally different story. There are situations where splash from tanks can hit Lurkers under Dark Storm. It's just very, I won't get into it. We've had that conversation plenty of times before. In fact, one of the big things that we talked about when I was kind of new to streaming was about how Dark Storm and Lurkers interact along with Splash. It was like a big conversation topic, I remember, from quite a long time ago. Here we go, pushing right up into the natural now. This is kind of a late siege. Not really going to get much damage off with that. Great plague there in the back line as well. Oh, Larva's getting pretty efficient, even though there's this many tanks out. I think he has still a reasonable chance of winning this game. It's just, it is hard at this point. Another great plague here, and just pure Lings clearing through this. That means his Ultralisk transition soon is just going to be that much stronger. He has a lot of banked up gas, and in fact, he's just spent it on 5 Ultras, which are going to be coming out here soon. But is that the antidote to what Noel is doing? He's got +3. He's got the chitinous plating done. Anabolic boost is there as well. The speed upgrade for those Ultras is prepped and ready to go. Still bringing forward Lurkers just in the nick of time here to constantly push back these tanks and Marines over and over again. But loses his Defiler. And he actually gets some of these vessels. Looks like he's going to get a few of them. They've been so injured for so long. Getting in on top of this base. How long until an Ultra pops out? There's actually one going to pop right here, right now. 2 coming from behind as well. Looks like he's given up on fighting this army. In fact, all the Ultras arrive here at the same time. 6 Ultras is enough to stop this attack. Good God, was that last moment. That was so last second. Couldn't have cut it any closer. Barely arrived in time. Unfortunately, a lot of these Ultras are going to die due to the Eraser plus tanks here. These tanks to the south. He has a good chance of clearing those out as well if he hits it from both sides. Especially if he just sends some Lings in right now. I think he would have a very good chance of clearing that out. Another nice plague there. Hitting 3 tanks. That allows Lings alone to be pretty effective at just clearing these out. You just get in range, and then the splash damage alone will deal enough damage to kill the tanks. It's pretty darn efficient. Looks like these tanks will stand and fight. A little bit rough there for Larva, who just cannot get out on this map here. He's really having a hard time making any progress. Like, he is getting more bases, and looks like he will eventually get that base in center left online. Unfortunate for him that that was blocked, but Noel doing a great job staying on top of him, just forcing him back and keeping him on his toes, just not allowing him to easily take any of these bases, fighting for every inch of ground in the middle of the map as well. Lynx may be able to slip out now. Yeah, with these 2 tanks going down, the bottom right will be exposed. Nothing in the bunker here, and no tanks on the high ground. Uh-oh. Noel, you're supposed to have tanks down there by now. This is not good. Lings can make their way down to this base and potentially just kill it off for free. In fact, looks like this base is going to survive, but if he gets up on the high ground here... Okay, there's the tanks finally being made on the high ground. And they're going to siege up as well. I don't think the Lings will actually clear this base now. And so, Larva knows that the map is split. Only this base and this base remain to be taken, which is definitely favoring the Terran player. No doubt about it. Especially as +3 finishes. He's actually going to be like 2-3 upgrades. That is wild. Dark Swarm again. Will be thrown down here. That looks like he'll get this. Siege tank. Hanging on with the D-Matrix. Army here. Just trying to cut off reinforcements as it can. Larva desperate to get another base online. Let's get a gas check. These 2 depleted. This is depleted. This one has 2,500. So he's basically going to be... He's on 2 gases right now. Maybe 2.5 gases. And he's soon to be on 3.5. But, oh, where's the plague? There it is. He does manage to get it down. Finally has the burrow. Nice. I thought I saw Larva upgrading that a little bit earlier. And in fact, he did get that down, which is fantastic news. Recognizing that he absolutely needs that upgrade. He wants to hang on against this constant eraser harassment. So many irradiates going down here, but the army will be cleared. However, again, the gases are so light at this point. Larva definitely needs to start mining this one. The longer he waits to mine that, the worse off he's going to be. He does get into it. Finally will start to mine off of that base. A full 70 supply advantage is now in the favor of Noel. If Larva somehow manages to win this game, I will be thoroughly impressed. The plague goes out on some of these tanks. 2 vessels get caught up in the mix as well. This base down here not looking very well defended. Maybe there's an opening for Noel to go and take out that base as well. Either way, he can bounce between this base and this base and make it very hard for Larva to hold on. Getting in on top of this stuff before the tanks are fully sieged up. Does some good damage to some... Actually, he didn't really do any damage. Wow. All these tanks are in full HP, even though the Ultra was standing right next to those. This base is potentially going to end up going down. This is a really rough spot. He's going to have to pull all the drones. Sending Lings down towards bottom right. I don't know. I don't think he can kill this. Nice jump out of the bunker to stim and then jumping right back in for the defense of that base. Larva making mostly lings at this point and just trying to hang in there. Is being locked down slowly but surely by Noel, who's just moving tanks into position, continuing to irradiate absolutely everything. Here comes the eraser trick. Oh my god. Oh. Very good burrow there, but it's not going to save his life in this game. He's already lost so many drones, and he's down to such a little amount of mining. Just really one gas is all he has. So hardly able to continuously produce the Ultralisk he needs, let alone Scourge and Defilers. So just more irradiates will end up going down. This base is finally up and mining again, but we're two gases mining here in the late game versus a 3-3 Terran mech, 3-3 Terran tanks, along with 3-3 Marine medic, pushing into each position in turn. Here comes more Lings and Ultras, trying to save the day. This Ultra over here really needs to be part of this fight. Not a lot left here for Larva. Is just trickling in Lings, and I think that must be GG. Yeah, there it is. GG is finally called. Noel holding up really, really solid against Larva, who seemed to have a lot of dominance in the early game. You know, poking in with those mutas over and over again. I guess there was that attack that went so well for Noel in the early game. He got a lot of drone kills there. I just thought that Larva was doing so well, keeping Noel back and really pumping up his economy. Yeah, that was a pretty crazy one, guys. I like the Marine medic with tank style. I feel like it doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. You got enough anti-air. It's not like they can muta switch on you. And as long as you're spreading your tanks out really well and avoiding big plagues landing on like huge swaths of Marine medic while just kiting back and throwing down irradiates, you can get very efficient. Very hard to deal with this style of play. Like, what do you actually make? You make Ultras, you make Defilers, but there's no real hard, fast answer to this. It's not like you can go, you know, Hydra Queen, I don't think. Maybe the answer could be Hydralisk, Defiler, Queen. Although that's a lot of gas. That is a ton of gas to make Queens as well, to go ahead and throw down Broodlings. I've never seen a game like that. I'd love to see it. Somebody attempt it. Against this style, go Hydra, Queen, Defiler. I think that would be very interesting. Anyways, until next time, guys, thanks for watching. See you very soon.